New shirt means it's a new filming day. I am back finishing Fulgrim. Hopefully we finish him today. I will be finishing the snake body really quickly. Can't talk. And we're going to be moving on to some of the more original stuff. Or at the very least, I'm going to be putting my own twist to it. I saw the armor recipe online. You already kind of saw it with Canoptech alloy. So it is what it is. If it pans out, again, that's good. If it doesn't, it is what it is. I just casually ruined the $100 figure. So we'll see how it goes. Preemptive thumbs up. Hopefully it pans out well. So if you were following along, then you'd know that the following steps are mixing 1 to 2 with Leviathan purple and contrast medium. 2 parts contrast medium and 1 part the purple contrast paint. We will be putting that into the recesses, sort of like a wash. So closer to the recesses, the better. And again, follow the box art if you're not sure. Then we paint pure Leviathan purple onto the scales. You can be irregular with your strokes because these are scales. Natural forming, so you won't have a complete pattern. Apply it to the spines as well. So here he is, looking extra purple. Now we're going to be highlighting it with gray sear. So thin gray sear with Lamian medium, which is just your standard medium, glazed medium, 1 to 3. So I'm going to be just applying it on like the skin folds that's built into the mold, just lightly. This part right here is without a doubt the most difficult step of the model, making sure that you apply the gray sear onto the folds, you know, right here. But sometimes it can appear too strongly. And what I'm going to do is reapply Magos purple, but thin down with contrast medium, maybe 3 parts to it, just to blend it in, you know, apply it. Maybe it looks better, hopefully. So it's still not dry, but yes, looks like it was the proper move to mute down the white a little bit. Now it looks more natural. I would have preferred if it was a little lighter in the center, glowing white almost, but this is fine. This is great. And then you can still see the folds there still highlighted, especially there and there. So it's great. And then moving on, we're going to be painting the rest of the tail here. Yeah. So I'm going to be using Pterodon turquoise to paint everything that isn't purple. So the cheeks, that is his cheeks, and anything that isn't purple. So the gaps right there, there, you know, all this stuff, yeah, including till the tail and there. No pun intended. Pterodon turquoise. So it's still drying, but it's starting to take shape. And I like the little variances on the skin. Makes it look like blemishes. Basically, these are from when I was painting the purple and kind of spilled on it. And because contrast paints are so thin, further thinned down by contrast mediums, it creates this sort of, variance on the skin because of how translucent they are, bordering on transparent, actually. So this is about 3 layers of Pterodon turquoise. I could darken it with a wash of Nuln oil or a thinned down Abaddon black, which is a matte black. But I may just leave it and start highlighting it. You know what? We will do it. Games Workshop calls for a conversion of Abaddon black, which is just a normal paint, combine that with Lamian medium, which is glazed medium, and making your own wash because it's higher pigmentation count compared to your normal black wash, which is non oil in this case, or any other black wash. Typically this has a normal or higher but the normal pigment count, so it's going to be more vibrant as a result. Now this is damn near bordering 1:5 ratio of black paint to medium, so hopefully it works out. If not, I will regret this severely. But here it goes. Oh, it's got higher pigmentation. All right, looks like I made a mistake, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reapplying Tarragon Turquoise on just the surface or surfaces where I imagine the sun would hit. So literally just the direct surface right there, avoiding any sort of the recesses. Maybe it adds a little bit more depth, who knows. Here I am reapplying it. So as you can see, we're going to be slowly building up the glow effect, layer by layer, thin layer at a time, one thin layer at a time. So it's going to have this kind of like, you know, greenish, purple, black hue to it by the end of the day. And again, only on the raised surfaces. Throughout the rest of the insides of the wound, where it's going to be concentrated, it's going to look gross. Look at it. Perfect. The wound looks incredibly nasty. Gross. Now we're going to be, before we move on to the armor, we're going to be painting the back end of the tail. I did just recently reapply Gray Sear, just so it is grayish white again. But we're going to be painting it with Blood Angels Red. I'm so sorry. And then I'm going to be dry brushing it with Gray Sear, once again, which is the exact same color, but only on the tips, just so it has some sort of highlight. Once again, we're going to be reapplying Canoptech Alloy, but this time it's going to be on the armor. I don't know if you remember, but yeah. So it's going to be right here. That's part of the armor. It's all Canoptech Alloy. This is going to be where the changes from typical Games Workshop formula. This would have been Retributor Armor, right? But we're going to be using this instead. Now that the Canoptech Alloy has been blocked, next step would be to apply a thinned out version of Magos Purple as a shade. So it's going to be 1:4 of the contrast medium. So we're just going to apply a shade of it. I'm going to apply it slightly thicker than normal. Yeah, this thinned out immensely. So yeah, you can't even tell immediately. You can kind of tell, but it's going to be a lot of shade. So just apply it liberally like that. Sorry, getting used to the new camera. So while the armor is drying, we're going to be using Deepkin Flesh on the arms of the wings, and then we're going to be putting a wash of Magos Purple on top of it to give it that kind of purplish winged look. So for the knuckles and the bones, I'm going to be using pure Leviathan Purple. Yeah. Now for the wings, it's going to be the exact same turquoise recipe as the lower half of Fulgrim's. While the wings are drying, we're going to be dry brushing Stormhost Silver onto the armor to give it a little bit of a pep, a little bit of a shine. All right, here we go. Excellent, excellent. Meanwhile, I'm going to be painting Deepkin flesh onto the face. I did the same thing for the arms off screen. It should be good. I always imagined Fulgrim to be extremely pale, anemic almost. So, and now that he's a demon, this only makes a lot more sense. Let's go closer a little bit. Yeah. And then we will be applying Magos Purple once it's dried. Same thing with the arms. While the face is drying, I'm going to be bleaching his hair with Model Color White. Alright, the time has come to apply Magos Purple onto the arms and face. Here goes nothing. That doesn't look too bad, actually. Here goes nothing. Remember, guys, I historically cannot paint faces, so this is going to be a first for me, essentially, if this turns out even remotely good. Now I'm going to be putting in pure Magos Purple near the forehead where like the moon, crescent moon shape is. Just gonna... Yeah, that looks good, that looks good. I changed my mind. The cape will be jade green, then washed with Magos Purple. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Highlight his face with Deepkin flesh. So, two things. Number one, I decided to keep the jade cape. I don't know, I kind of like it. I was gonna paint it purple, then I maybe like, oh, maybe pink, but then you know what? I decided I kind of like the look. So number two, we're gonna be putting in a little bit more blood on things that need blood. I'm gonna put it on the recesses inside the wound to make it more poppy. It's already kind of gross looking already, but you know, we're gonna put more blood in it. Just gonna be putting it in the recesses right here. Yeah, a little bit more gross, which will then, yeah. There's a little bit of pooling there, which can be easily resolved by taking a dry brush like this and just soaking it up just a tiny bit. Yeah. There we go. Fulgrim is almost finished, and now it's time to finish his head. We're going to be painting that black. Same with the horns, but then the horns we're going to shade, same with the eyes, with a little bit of achromatic blue on the hair, on the ends of it, and near the roots. It's going to be a bit more Magos Purple. I love Magos Purple. Don't put too much. And this is Corvus Black, not Abaddon, which, if you remember, is a very dark gray. Nothing has changed. I figured, you know, it doesn't have to be as harsh as Abaddon for the horns because it's getting bleached. It's a horn, right? It's at the top of his head. Sun or light will hit it the hardest, or one of. No, okay. To repair the damage on the face, we will be using Slanesh Gray for the flesh, thinned out with Lamian Medium. Hopefully that should be enough, because honestly it's not too bad, all things considered. It's just a little darker in spots. I don't want it to be darker, but I'm gonna make him more purple and add a bit more of the white. You know what? Maybe things do happen for a reason. I like him now. Looks much ghastlier. I'm gonna fix that tiny spot there, but overall, face is almost done. I'm just gonna finish the hair. And we're almost done with Fulgrim. Just to correct some mistakes, and I'm done. Maybe the basing needs a different video, but otherwise, yeah. I will also be putting achromatic blue on the energy blades, or the blades, but they're not, you know, for the power. That's what I'm doing. Just putting it there and slowly glazing it so it changes color. And I can't believe I forgot painting the gems with soulstone blue. Come on, focus. Soulstone blue. Those gems all over the armor. And there he is. A quick, well, relatively quick, about 7-8 hours worth of time, you know. Battle ready Fulgrim. He's not parade ready, so he's not gonna win you any awards, not even close. But good enough, I think. He's alright. Oh yeah, actually no, I like it. Battle ready, yes. Not the best quality, there are mistakes everywhere. But yeah, this is great. So just final words. The one thing I will say about Fulgrim is that he was so heavy, I needed to super glue him. It was ridiculous. The wings, oh man, you know, plastic cement, the drying times, the wait times just wasn't cutting it. So yeah, I needed to super glue him. But overall, what a fun experience. I loved it. So yeah, look at him. Oh man. He's huge. Guys, he's the size of my face and I'm fat. So yeah, if you want to see all this and more, follow us, subscribe, and all our socials and YouTube. We're trying to hit 10K prior to the end of the summer. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Fulgrim and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.